Today, I want to delve into something that has been sweeping across the ladder over the past week. It is India's 10-10 Carney. This strategy has revitalized the Civ and offered new openings and strategies from not only a heavy Age 2 eco or semi-FF play, but other crazy options like SOA openings and a Sepoy consulate rush. I'm going to be focusing on the pros and cons, as well as providing a few follow-up variations of the 10-10 Carney, and I hope it encourages you to play this civilization. Let's get into it. So what makes the 10-10 Carney fundamentally better for the average player? The Age 1 start is incredibly easy. Just collect your crates, queue up all your villagers, and start gathering food. Just sit back and focus on your herding and scouting with your explorer, making sure to prioritize on wood treasures above all else. The next pro is the age up time. It seems very competitive with the 10-10 Carney, showing some impressive age up times around 4 minutes, opposed to the Agra Fort of around 4 minutes 20, 4 minutes 30. Of course, this all depends on treasures, but impressive nonetheless, given the fact that the strategy is an economic-centric strategy rather than an offensive one. So what makes the 10-10 Carney more difficult to the average player? Later game macro. It is a constant problem with India, as mastering the macro takes considerable time. However, with this strategy, seems to make this more difficult, at least for myself. I'm not sure if it's because the standard opening provides you with an already built barracks in the form of an Agra Fort, or whether it's just me, and because it's a brand new way of playing India, it's taking some time to master the basics. There is one big elephant in the room, and this is the lack of defense against an opponent rushing you. The defensive Agra Fort provides that amazing security to a lot of players, along with the fact that there is no downtime between having to build a barracks and then training units. Not only that, but the Agra Fort age up at least provides you with 2 Sepoys, something you won't have with the 10-10 Carney. To successfully defend is going to require not only scouting and top-notch macro, but a word beginning with W and ending in L. Yep, it is of course a wall. If you don't regularly build walls, then you may need to start practicing. Wall placement is a huge thing when it comes to this opening, as it's all about minimalizing any kind of disruption to your economy and delaying your opponent's push until you're ready to strike. So what do you do in Age 1? Well, all you do, just collect your crates, gather your food, make sure you herd well, use your explorers to obviously explore the map, prioritizing wood treasures as I mentioned before. That's pretty much all you need to worry about. The minute you get to 10-10, your macro should pretty much be perfect, and you should be touching that 800 food so you can drop down your Carney Martyr. Now, when dropping your Carney Martyr, always make sure that it tries to cover 2 gold mines as best it can. Sometimes it will not be possible, but if it is possible, always do it, and try and put it defensively if you can, behind your TC rather than in front, so that it doesn't get sieged down if there's a rush. So Age 1 to 2 transition, you're going to want to move pretty much all villagers over to wood, and you're going to need to put down a house, then queue up a villager, and then you want to squeeze in a trade post. That's kind of crucial. Some people like to put a market down instead, but Big boy Revnak said to me, you need that TP. It's going to enable you to get that great card tempo going into Age 2. So let's get that trade post down and then focus on keeping the villager production. When you hit Age 2, you're going to get a juicy 200 wood, 200 food, and 100 coin. That should sort you out for your first decision, which is going to be what military building are you going to build. Now, 80-90% of the time, it's probably going to be the barracks, but sometimes if you're going for the pure SOA opening, you're going to be wanting to build a stables. Once you've built that building, you're then going to want to think about peeling some of your villas away from wood and start putting them onto food and gold so you can continue that military production through Age 2. And when your second card is available, you're going to be going for the 700 wood. Now, the 700 wood will be used to get your market down, your consulate, and also that wood will help you with further market upgrades. You're going to want to get all of the tier 1 market upgrades, and then think about in the near future about your tier 2. It's a very economic centric build no matter what you're doing, so always remember about the market. And we're going to stop right there. That is pretty much the same build order you should do for the following 3 variations that I'm going to show you. So just try and work on that, practice on that a little bit, because it's going to be very different to the Agra Fort opening that you're probably used to. So what are the variations you speak of? Well, I'm going to be showing you 3 opening variations, but please remember that there are many more than just these. So we're going to have the SOA start into an Age 3, Sepoy Cons Rush, and the more standard Age 2 Sepoy Gurkha combination. But once again, this final one is sort of seen as the standard kind of Eco Age 2 opening, whereby normally the composition will end up in a Sepoy Gurkha, but it can easily go to Sepoy Soa or even Zambarax if your opponent has a lot of cav. I've provided the 1v1 land deck down below. This is pretty much the standard deck anyway for India. With water, there's a few variations, but you can catch that on my Discord channel if you want to pick it up. This will be able to be used across all variations that I'm going to cover right now. The Soa Semi FF. So what you're going to be doing, you're going to be wanting to select these stables as your first building when you get into Age 2, and then you're going to really want to make sure that a lot of your villagers are over to gold. Now, it's going to be very unlikely that you're going to be able to train your first full batch of Soas. You're probably going to get either 3 or 4 first. Don't worry about that. Just try and focus more of your villagers over to gold, because Soas are a lot more gold intensive than Sepoys. After the standard 700 wood shipment, you're going to be wanting to select the Diplomatic Intrigue. Once again, this card is pretty much going to be the same for the other 2 variations, and this is going to enable you to then switch to the Ottoman Consulate, and then you have an option of either going for 4 villagers or 3 delis. Normally with this build, 3 delis is great because you can mass your Soa and Delhi even more, and your cav will be unstoppable in the early game. The next card is going to be Foreign Logging. Now this is once again more of an eco card, and it's fantastic because it enables you to have an even better trickle of wood, which means more vills can focus on food and gold, which once again pulls more towards the Soa creation and thinking about going to Age 3. After that, the next card you're going to want to think about is 700 gold. This is going to enable you to then get into Age 3, and as I say, you don't always have to do that. You can continue in Age 2 if you want to. This kind of plan is working towards the semi-FF style, but there's many other things that you can do depending on the civ, the matchup, the map, etc, etc. The Sepoy Consular Rush. So you're going to be wanting to select the barracks as your first military building going into Age 2, and then you're going to want to kind of try and distribute your villages where there's not too many on gold, quite a lot on food and wood, because your Sepoys don't cost a great deal of gold compared to the Soa opening as I showed previously. The next card after 700 wood is obviously going to be your Diplomatic Intrigue. Once again, this doesn't change, and it should line up perfectly with building both your market and your consulate, and you're going to be wanting to select the British Allies. The British Allies is going to enable you to get the 6 Musketeer shipment, which is absolutely fantastic, and that's just going to bolster your Sepoy mass even more. The next card that's going to complement absolutely beautifully is going to be 4 Soas. So we're going into more of a military shipment style here, and this is going to be great to clear up any kind of skirmisher, any crossbow unit that your opponent's trying to produce to counter against your heavy Musk composition. After that, you can go for the 5 Sepoy card and just really hammer home on the military shipments. And after this, the world is your oyster. There's many avenues you can go down here. Tiger Claws are fantastic if you have the economy to do so, to really just hit home even more against your opponent, or you can go 700 coin, think about aging up perhaps, or even go distributivism and just really bolster your economy further and make sure that you can survive in Age 2 for a very long time. The Sepoy Gurkha Age 2 Eco. Your first building is going to be the barracks when you get into Age 2. Straight after 700 wood, whilst you're building both the market and the consulate, you're going to be thinking about the first batch of units you want to get from your barracks. That is going to be 5 Sepoys. Straight after that, you're going to then want to be switching into a Gurkha style role, which means that you're going to need more villagers collecting gold because Gurkhas are more expensive in gold than Sepoys. Once the consulate and market have been built, get those market techs in, the tier 1s, and then when you have the next card available, it's going to be the Diplomatic Intrigue. You can then switch to the Ottoman Allies in your consulate, and once again you have the decision of either going for 4 vills or 3 delis. Normally 3 delis is the best because it enables you to raid your opponent effectively. The next card once again will be Foreign Logging, and this once again is just going to cement your eco even more, enable you to task your villagers on food and gold more, just to help you with the Gurkha composition. Then we're going to be switching into more of a military shipment, so we can go for the 5 Sepoys here, and then straight after that we can go for 4 Soas. And then, of course, once again, the world is your oyster. You can do many other things. You can stay in Age 2 even longer, or you can go for 700 coin and then think about going into Age 3. So that is going to wrap up India's quote-unquote new meta. I hope you really enjoyed this, showing you sort of 3 follow-up variations to the 10-10 Carney build that we've been seeing so much on ladder at the moment. I hope you really enjoyed this. A lot of time and effort went into this video, so guys, if you did enjoy it, please make sure to drop a like. Let me know down in the comments below what you think about this. Are you going to give this a go? Is this going to encourage you to play India for the first time maybe, or maybe to revisit the Civ? Make sure to let me know, and of course I will catch you in the next video or the next stream. Catch you later, guys. Bye.